Well, I had a very good pastor in Chester, Illinois, where I grew up, the home of Popeye, and a very wonderful man. Took piano lessons from his sister, and thought, oh, this is nice what he's doing, and I'd like to do that, but I didn't want to run a parish. And then I went to a workshop here at St. Henry's in Belleville to see if you'd like to go to the seminary. And I was very fascinated with these men that gave their life to teach young fellows Latin and Greek and German and that, to be able to preach, and that they lived together, but I didn't want to run a parish. So I said, well, the Oblates would be very good. And I entered the seminary, St. Henry's. That one workshop week, when I was in 6th grade, I met Francis George. He was going to go to St. Henry's the next year, and later became cardinal. And I was very impressed with his brilliance. I said, oh, maybe hanging around with these guys, I can get to be brilliant too. But it didn't happen. I hung around with those guys. They did treat you very lovely. I had my 50th anniversary the other day of ordination, and it was very mindful of how good the Oblates are to one another, and it was a good group to be with. So I made the high school seminary, went to the novitiate, got sent to Rome, decided this is a bit much, came back, and then made a second. After I came back, I taught for a while, and then I decided to go back to the novitiate and do it a second time. So there was a few of us who did 2 novitiates. So I'm double novitiated. I was doing library science, thinking that was going to be my future, library science. And I didn't stay in library science, ended up coming to the Shrine. Started to work there, and then got to go to St. Louis U for conditional extra studies, then to Edwardsville for a study of communications, and then while I was working on the novitiate, working on the different projects around the seminary, I found the Oblates will help you be a success. They'll get you to do things that you may not want to do on your own. So that's what I found exciting about the Oblates. And when I started working with Father Guild, he'd say, you got to meet 100 people every day. Well, I was very shy and very bashful at that time, but he said, if we don't meet 100 people every day, we've got to close this place. And so he gave me a different look on what we got to do as vocation work. So I got to do a little bit of that for a while too. So that's how I got to know the Oblates, and then I thought, after teaching for a while, I said, oh, I could give my time to teach in one of our missions. And that turned out to be an eventful year. I got to find out how the Oblates work around the world. Then later on, I got to have a job at the Oblates on the Provincial Council, got to see what we do in the United States and in different parts, and to see some of our very operations with the poor. So it was very fascinating to me to say, oh, this is what religious life can bring. And it's always been very supportive of me, and I've been very grateful to have that chance with them.